Those who are joined online, whether my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then we will start. Rushali, whether my voice is audible to you?
Yes, sir.
What's your roll number? Put there your roll number. You haven't put your roll number there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so good afternoon to one and all. As you know that into the previous lecture, we have studied the what can I say, principles of the design. Which design principles were used, or which design principles are being used whenever we are going to consider the design of electrical machine. Okay, so which are the principles? First is nothing but the Faraday's law, and second is nothing but the Biot-Savart law. Okay, these two are the design principles that which we have studied. The Faraday's first law also we have studied. That is nothing but the any change in the magnetic flux linking with the coil cause an EMF to be induced, and whatever EMF induced, that is called as induced EMF, and whatever the current is there, that is called as induced current. Then Faraday's second law is that whatever the magnitude of the induced EMF, that is what that it is equal to the rate of change of flux linkage. Okay. Now, whatever the Cn stands here, that is nothing but the number of coils, and this d5 by dt stands for the rate of change of flux linkage. Okay. Now, after that, we will going to study the another important point. After that, we have studied this Biot-Savart law. Okay, Biot-Savart law, what it gives us is gives us the value of the force which is produced when there is an interaction of current carrying conductor in this particular magnetic field. See, when the current carrying conductor interaction with the magnetic field, at that time, whatever the force which is going to produce, that value is given by the Biot-Savart law, which is given by F is equal to BIL sine theta. What that B indicates? B indicates the flux density, L indicates the length of conductor, then I indicates the current carried by the conductor, and theta indicates the angle between the direction of a current and the direction of magnetic field. So this is the what we have studied. Now into the today's lecture, we will going to cover the another important point, that is nothing but the design factors. Now what the design factor? Whenever we are going to consider any design of electrical machine, at that time which parameters or which points we need to consider, that is nothing but the design factors. Okay, don't write, we will declare it. Okay, so what that design factor is, whenever we are going to consider the design of any electrical machines, which parameters we need to consider in order to get the overall good design. Means if I am going to design any machine, there which parameters I have to consider so that whatever the design of my particular machine, that is perfect. So which are that parameter that we are going to concern in this particular design factors. Okay, means आता बघा तुम्ही एखादं consider एखादं simple example घ्या, you can consider. Now whenever we are going to consider any particular mobile, whenever you go to the market and you are asking that give me this mobile, but before whenever going to the market for purchasing the mobile, what you are doing, you are analyzing some its factors, like yes, its specifications, factors like what is the strength of its battery, how much EMAH it will going to store, then what I can say, what camera quality is there. Okay, then which are the different facilities, like whatever the front camera, back camera, it's whatever the system which is present there, camera किती megapixels आहे, हे काय करतो आपण, whenever we are going to purchase any mobile, that time we are going to decide it. Such like this concept is applicable to our electrical machines. Whenever we are going to design any electrical machine, which parameters we need to consider, that is given in this particular design factor. Okay, so see what we have given. As far as the design factor or any machine is concerned, there is a presence of armature and field winding there. Okay, but if armature and field winding is present there, there is a always presence of insulation, cooling system, and different mechanical parts which constitutes a one electrical machine. म्हणजे फक्त आर्मेचर वाइंडिंग किंवा फील्ड वाइंडिंग आहेत एवढंच नाही, तर काय काय मशीन मध्ये त्याच्यापेक्षा अजून काय काय डिफरंट कंडक्टर्स आहेत, त्याला इन्सुलेशन आहे, बरोबर आहे, त्याच्यानंतर कूलिंग सिस्टीम आहे, देन त्याचे वेगवेगळे मेकॅनिकल पार्ट्स आहेत. हे जे काय पूर्ण पार्ट्स कंबाईन केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला जे काय फायनल आउटपुट भेटणार आहे, दॅट इज नथिंग बट दॅट इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन्स. ओके, सो व्हेनेवर वी आर गोइंग टू डिझाइन दॅट मशीन by taking the reference of these, whom reference we have to take, the field winding, armature winding, as well as the insulation, cooling system, and the mechanical parts. Whenever we are going to take the reference of these, and whenever we are going to design that machine, so which factors we need to consider whenever we are going to design that machine, by taking the reference of this point. Which points were there? Field winding, armature winding, insulation, cooling system, and the mechanical parts. So which is my first factor? See, they have given magnetic circuit. So see, whatever the magnetic circuit is there, that should establish the required amount of flux. Okay, see, if we are going to consider the magnetic circuit, as whenever you are into the first year, that time you have studied the similarities between magnetic circuit and electrical circuit. If we are going to consider the magnetic flux in the magnetic circuit, what you can consider in electrical circuit? Electrical flux. Okay, so see here, whatever the magnetic circuit is there, whenever we are going to design any particular machine, what in that particular machine, whatever the magnetic circuit that present, what it going to do, it establish the required amount of flux. Required amount of flux means what? Whatever the minimum flux that is required for the operation of that particular machine. बरोबर आहे का? रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लक्स म्हणजे काय, की ते मशीन प्रॉपरली वर्क करण्यासाठी किती मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लक्स लागतंय, दॅट इज नथिंग बट दी रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लक्स. म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही एखादं मशीन डिझाइन करता, व्हेनेवर वी आर गोइंग टू डिझाइन एनी पर्टिक्युलर मशीन, whatever the magnetic circuit in that particular machine, that will produce or establish the minimum amount of flux. त्यांनी फ्लक्स प्रोड्यूसच करायला पाहिजे. त्याच्यानंतर whatever that magnetic circuit is there, in that particular magnetic circuit the core losses should be less. If we are consider the magnetic circuit, whatever the core losses, that should be less whenever we are going to consider the design of that particular electrical machine. But how we are going to achieve this condition? We are going to achieve this condition using minimum value of MMF. That is nothing but the magnetomotive force. ओके, म्हणजे तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे, त्या पर्टिक्युलर मॅग्नेटिक सर्किटनी फ्लक्स पण एस्टॅब्लिश करायचा आहे. त्याच्यामुळे काय होणार आहे, कोर लॉसेस पण कमी पाहिजे. पण हे कधी तुम्ही अचीव करू शकणार आहात, whenever it is possible for you that using the minimum value of this particular MMF, that is nothing but the magnetomotive force. म्हणजे आता एमसीक्यू मध्ये तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन कसा विचारला जाते, हाऊ दे आर गोइंग टू आस्क द एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन, whenever we are going to design any particular machine with respect to this particular magnetic circuit. मग तिथे त्यांनी ऑप्शन दिले असेल, त्यात काय पाहिजे, what should be required there, establishing of required amount of flux. Then again below that they are given core losses should be minimum. Then they are given using minimum MMF, and last option is all of these. Okay, means what we have to consider, there is a establishment of required amount of flux, that is magnetic flux. That's why the core losses are less. And how we are going to achieve it, with the help of minimum value of the MMF. Okay, so these points we need to consider as far as the design of electrical machine. And त्याच्यातला कुठला पॉइंट आपण कन्सिडर केलाय, that is nothing but the magnetic circuit. Okay, आता सेम ह्याच पॉइंटला रेफरन्स घेऊन, बाय टेकिंग द रेफरन्स ऑफ दिस पॉइंट, दॅट इज नथिंग बट द मॅग्नेटिक सर्किट. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज नथिंग बट द इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट. व्हॉट दे आर सेइंग दैट, सी in that particular electrical circuit there is a ensurement of required amount of EMF that should be induced. Okay, जसं मॅग्नेटिक सर्किट मध्ये काय इंड्यूस व्हायला पाहिजे होतं, रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लक्स, तसं इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट मध्ये which point we have to as far as electrical circuit is concerned, which point is required there, EMF, electromotive force. Required amount of EMF should be produced. Required amount of EMF should be produced. Okay, required amount म्हणजे काय, त्या पर्टिक्युलर मशीनला प्रॉपर ऑपरेशन साठी किती मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ EMF पाहिजे, तेवढं त्या इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्किट मध्ये ज्यावेळेस आपण काय म्हणतो त्याला मशीन डिझाइन करणार आहोत तेवढं प्रोड्यूस झालं पाहिजे. ओके, बट ड्यू टू दॅट व्हॉट हॅपन्स, देअर शुड बी अगेन लेस कॉपर लॉस. Okay, what another condition is nothing but the less copper loss. But what they have, see how we are going to achieve it, we are going to achieve with the, see, no complexity in the winding arrangement. Okay, आता complexity in the winding arrangement means what, see, if we are doing such complexity arrangement म्हणजे काय, प्रॉपर वाइंडिंग, ज्यावेळेस आपण आता डिझाइन ऑफ 3 फेज इंडक्शन मोटर, डीसी मोटर आणि सिंक्रोनस मशीन ज्यावेळेस बघणार आहे, त्यावेळेस वी आर गोइंग टू कन्सर्न विथ दी वाइंडिंग अरेंजमेंट ऑल्सो. पण ज्यावेळेस आपण वाइंडिंग अरेंजमेंट करणार आहे, व्हेनेवर वी आर गोइंग टू डू दिस पर्टिक्युलर वाइंडिंग अरेंजमेंट, ऍट दॅट टाइम व्हॉट वी हॅव टू ऑल्सो केअर अबाउट इन्सुलेशन. म्हणजे असं नाही की ही वाइंडिंग ह्यात मिक्स झाली, ही वाइंडिंग ह्यात मिक्स झाली, and there should be no proper design. Okay, so there should be a no complexity of winding arrangement, simple winding arrangement. Whenever we are going to study the next chapter, that time you will understand. But here what you need to consider is that whenever we are going to consider the electric circuit, as far as the design of electrical machine is concerned, what happens, there should be a requirement or the generation of required amount of EMF. Then and then only we can consider that design as the good design. Okay, and what thing is common in this particular magnetic circuit, whatever that losses is there, that should be a less. Okay, so which is the first factor whenever we are going to consider the design of electrical machine, magnetic circuit, and second factor is electric circuit. In magnetic circuit, what we are going to consider, magnetic flux, there should be generation of, or there should be a production of minimum amount of magnetic flux, जे की कशासाठी पाहिजे, प्रॉपर वर्किंग ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर मशीन. त्यालाच तुम्ही काय म्हणणार आहे, यू कॅन कॉल इट इज नथिंग बट दी रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ magnetic flux. And as far as the electric circuit is concerned, what you want? There should be a required EMF, electromotive force. Okay, so this is my second point. And now what is my third point? See, they have given insulation. See, whenever we are going to consider the design of any electrical machine, the insulation plays a very important role. Why? Can anybody justify why you can say that the insulation plays a very important role? बघा, तुम्ही जर तुमच्या वाइंडिंगला जर प्रॉपर इन्सुलेशन नाही केलं तर त्या वाइंडिंग ऑब्विसली काय होणार आहे? शॉर्ट सर्किट होणार आहे. देयर मे बी चान्सेस that winding going to short circuit and it will leads to the damage of that particular electrical machine. So what, in order for proper functioning of that electrical machine, the proper insulation to the each winding is necessary. ओके, प्रत्येक वाइंडिंगचं इन्सुलेशन गरजेचं आहे. यू कॅन कन्सिडर एनी, you can consider the design of transformer, or you can consider the design of induction motor, or you can consider DC motor or synchronous machine. The insulation plays a very important role whenever we are going to consider the design of electrical machine. See, they have given there are different parts were there, or there are different parts were there where into that particular electrical machines. But what happens? There should be a proper insulation to that each and every part, so that what happen, whatever your design that which you are going to select, that will be correct one. Okay, जर design नसेल तर then there is a, sorry, if what I can say, insulation is not proper, then there is a no use of that particular machine. बघा, आपल्यात कसं आहे तुम्हाला सांगतो, तुम्ही कुठलीही इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन घ्या, थोडं जरी इन्सुलेशन ब्रेक झालं तर देयर मे बी चान्सेस दॅट इट विल डॅमेज होल मशीन. ओके, इट विल डॅमेज होल मशीन. त्यामुळे पण व्हेनेवर मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर, टेक द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ ट्रान्सफॉर्मर, whenever we are going to manufacture any transformer, that time I don't know where you have seen or not, the proper care for the insulation has been taken a lot, because see, transformer is a big device. If any what I can say, accident is going to be happened into the transformer, it will, there might be chances that it will damage pole which is nearby system. So that whenever the design of transformer is there, that time insulation plays a very important role. Motor that is restricted, the performance of motor is that is restricted there only, because what, we are using the motor for a particular only application, like whatever the water pump motor is there, that only we are given for suctioning and giving the water to this field. But transformer role is very important, because of what, as the transformer we can consider as a center part, and to that particular transformer all other apparatus are linked. ओके, म्हणजे त्या ट्रान्सफॉर्मर पासून स्टेप अप करतोय, स्टेप डाउन करतोय, तिथून कंझ्युमरला पाठवतोय, लाईक दिस वन. That's why whenever we are going to consider the design of any electrical machine, the care should be taken that the insulation part for this particular machine, or the insulation for that particular machine should be proper. So which is my fourth part? See, they have given cooling system and ventilation. As you know that, consider the example of transformer. Now transformer is 24/7 it is working. Okay, so what it require, obviously something cooling or ventilation. Whenever we are entering into the chapter number 2nd, that time we are going to study the point that is nothing but the cooling methods of transformer. So in order to dissipate whatever the heat produced during the operation of transformer, ट्रान्सफॉर्मर ज्यावेळेस कंटिन्युअसली ऑपरेशन आहे त्यावेळेस जी काही हीट प्रोड्यूस होती, ती हीट एन्व्हायरमेंट मध्ये एक्सपेल करण्यासाठी आपण काय करतो, डिफरंट cooling methods of the transformer that which we are going to use. But as far as the design is concerned, whenever we are going to consider design, there should be a proper cooling system, or you can say a ventilation arrangement should be there for the proper design. लक्षात घ्या, तुम्ही एखादी मशीन डिझाइन केली आणि त्याला प्रॉपर कूलिंग अरेंजमेंटच नाहीये, वेदर इट इज ऍक्सेप्टेबल. तुम्ही आता बघा, म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस आपण ट्रान्सफॉर्मरचे कूलिंग मेथड्स बघू त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला आयडेंटिफाय होऊन जाईल. पण ट्रान्सफॉर्मर कंटिन्युअसली 24 hours वर्क करतंय, आणि त्याला तुम्ही काय म्हणतो कूलिंग सिस्टीमच प्रोव्हाइड नाही केली, काय होणार आहे, हीट डेव्हलप होणार आहे. देयर मे बी चान्सेस दॅट इट विल डॅमेज दी what are insulation, whatever it may be, or hold that transformer. So whatever the heat is there, whenever we have to expel that heat into the atmosphere, okay, at that time, for whatever the heat which is present there, in order to expel it to the atmosphere, what we are using that, what I can say, cooling system for transfer. But before the, in order to get the proper design, the proper, what I can say, cooling system or ventilation should be necessary. And what is the last part? That is nothing but the different machine parts that should be a robust म्हणजे काय, कोण सांगते, what is the meaning of robust? That should have the high mechanical strength. ओके, म्हणजे आपण असे मशीनचे पार्ट डिझाइन करताना वापरायचे नाहीत की आज तिथं तो बसवलाय आणि उद्या तो खराब झाला. It is not like that. असं जर झालं तर then what is the use of that? Okay, that machine should be robust. Robust in the sense, whatever the mechanical parts which is present into that particular machine, they should have the sufficient mechanical strength. त्यांची मेकॅनिकल स्ट्रेंथ काय पाहिजे, सफिशियंट पाहिजे. त्यालाच तुम्ही काय म्हणा, दो शुड बी अ रोबस्ट इन द नेचर. ओके, म्हणजे आता तुम्ही स्टेटर, ते बाहेरचं त्याचं कवरिंग स्टेटर म्हणा किंवा रोटर म्हणा, ओके, किंवा बाकीचे कुठले मशीनचे डिफरंट पार्ट्स आहेत, ते रोबस्ट पाहिजेत. नाहीतर सपोज तुमचा तो पार्ट आज खराब झाला, तुम्ही उद्या बसवला, परत अजून परवा खराब झाला, वेदर इट इज ऍक्सेप्टेबल, then there is no use of that machine. So whatever the machine parts were there, that should be a robust in the nature. Okay, so these are the 5 points that we need to consider whenever we are going to consider the design of that particular electrical machine. So which are that points were there? See, first is nothing but the magnetic circuit. In that magnetic circuit, what, there should be a generation of required amount of flux, and there should be a less core losses with the minimum mmf. As far as the electrical circuit is concerned, there should be a generation of required amount of EMF with less core losses, with no complexity in winding arrangement. Next point is that insulation. Whenever we are going to design any particular electrical machine, the insulation should be a proper insulation. Then cooling system or ventilation. What happens, as you are considering the design of any particular machine, that particular machine should have proper cooling or ventilation arrangement. And last part is nothing but the, whatever that machine parts were there, that machine part should be a robust in nature, that they should have the sufficient mechanical strength. Have you got it? These 5 points related to the design factors of electrical machine. Those who are attending online, whether you got this 5 point, those who are attending online, have you got this? Okay. See, now what we will do, we will write down this. Those students who are attending online, open the notebook, we will write this point, because many of the time it is going to be asked into the examination. Okay, so write down there, give the heading design factors. Design factor. The basic component of all electromagnetic apparatus, म्हणजेच machine, all electromagnetic apparatus are the field and armature winding. Field and armature winding supported by insulation, comma, cooling system and mechanical parts and mechanical parts. Full stop. Therefore, the factors for the consideration in the factors for the consideration in the design are त्यातला first magnetic circuit. First point is nothing but the magnetic circuit. Below that, त्याच्या खाली लिहा should establish a required amount of flux using minimum mmf full stop. The core losses should be less. Full stop. Write down second part. Second, electric circuit. Second is nothing but the electric circuit. It should ensure required EMF to be induced with no complexity in winding arrangement. Full stop. The copper losses should be less. Okay. Then write down third point, insulation. मी सांगतो तिला तिथले it ensures the proper insulation for machine parts operating at different potential and current in the prescribed path. Fourth point, write down fourth point. What is that? Cooling system or ventilation. Yeah. Should ensure proper cooling arrangement so that machine operates at specified temperature. Full stop. Right. Fifth point. Machine parts should be robust in nature. ROBUST, robust in nature. Should be robust in nature. ROBUST, robust in nature. Okay. Those who are attending online, whether they have written it. Priyanka, roll number 26, have you written it?
Yes, sir.
Roll number 25, Anmol, have you written it?
Yes,
Roll number 25, Anmol,
Yes, sir.
have you written it?
Yes, sir.
Are you present there morning in college, no? अनमोल सकाळी कॉलेज मध्ये होते ना तुम्ही?
हाँ सर होते.
Now why you are not attended this lecture?
तर मुली कोणच नव्हत्या म्हणून हॉस्टेलवर आलते.
Okay. Or you doesn't want to see the face of the fresher. Is it like that?
Yes.
Rutuja. Rutuja, whether my voice is audible to you? Rutuja Gadge, whether voice is audible? See, again I am. Whenever you are going to attend the online session, with proper roll number should attend, so that we can mark your attendance. Otherwise, how we can mark your attendance? Okay. So see, these are the 5 important points that we need to consider whenever we are going to consider the different design factors. Now, after this, a very important point is there that we will cover, but I will show you specifications. So what that specification means exactly? Take the same example of whatever the mobile that which we have taken. At ह्या मोबाईलचं whatever the mobile that which we are using, if whatever the mobile if you are using, if I will tell me the specifications of that mobile, what you are going to tell to me, or what you are answering me? Yes, its battery, whatever it may be, 5000 mAh, 5500 mAh. Okay, then you are saying that my camera is of what, 80 megapixels, 40, 50, 52 megapixels were there. These two SIM cards were there. I can insert 2 SIM cards. Okay, my mobile is supporting to 4G, 5G, whatever it may be. Okay, storage, having this internal RAM, 8 GB, 128 GB. This storage space I am having. Processor, absolutely correct. I am having this processor in my mobile. Same like this, whatever our Indian standards is there, ISI, they have given some specification for different machines, that whenever you are going to design any particular machine, that specification you have to consider. ते स्पेसिफिकेशन तुम्ही विचारात घेतलेच पाहिजे. ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही कुठलीही एखादी मशीन डिझाइन करता, as per our Indian standard of institutions, you have to consider that specification. म्हणजे आता तुम्हाला एक एक्झाम्पल देतो, सिंपल स्पेसिफिकेशन एक्झाम्पल ट्रान्सफॉर्मरचं. either it is a single phase transformer or either it is a 3-phase transformer. Okay, म्हणजे काय, तुमचा ट्रान्सफॉर्मर सिंगल फेज वर ऑपरेट होतोय का 3 फेज वर ऑपरेट. This is the simple specification. Again, I will give you the second example. That is nothing but the induction motor. What is the synchronous speed of your induction motor? Then number of poles. How many number of poles were there for your induction motor? Okay. Then if DC motor is concerned, same thing like this. What is the speed of that particular DC motor? Number of poles were there. Okay. So means what? Whenever we are going to consider any particular electrical machine, that time which specification I have to consider as per the Indian standards of institution that is given in this point, that is nothing but the specification. ते कुठल्या ज्यात दिलेलं आहे स्पेसिफिकेशन्स मध्ये. ओके, मग आपल्याला व्हॉट डज व्हाय वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर द स्पेसिफिकेशन. आपण ते स्पेसिफिकेशन का बघायचे बघा, त्यांनी दिलं इथं. इट हेल्प्स टू युजर टू चूज अ क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट ऍज पर द स्टँडर्ड. whenever we have to choose any quality product, what helps us, its specification helps us to choose the quality product. Have you got it? Whenever we are going to choose the quality product, we are going to choose with the help of proper specifications. Okay, so whatever the specifications were there, what it going to help us? It helps the user to choose a quality product as per the standards. And again, they have given for a designer also helps in identifying the best design. Okay, म्हणजेच काय, तुम्ही मोबाईल वरून कसं ओळखणार व्हॉट इज बेस्ट डिझाईन किंवा स्पेसिफिकेशन? जे पर्टिक्युलर जो मोबाईलचा मॉडेल आहे जो जास्त विकला जाईल त्याचे स्पेसिफिकेशन्स काय चांगले, बरोबर आहे का? म्हणजे जे कोण डिझाईन करतात, हू आर द मोबाईल डिझायनर वेअर देअर, दे विल अंडरस्टँड दॅट इफ वी आर गिव्हिंग दिस फीचर्स, दिस मोबाईल इज गोइंग टू सेल्ड इन टू दी व्हॉट आय कॅन से विथ लार्ज क्वांटिटी. म्हणजे जर मी हे स्पेसिफिकेशन दिले तर माझा मोबाईल काय होतोय, लार्ज क्वांटिटी मध्ये सोल्ड होतो, बरोबर आहे? म्हणजे व्हॉट एव्हर द डिझायनर वेअर देअर हू इज गोइंग टू डिझाईन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन्स, if he knows that whatever that specification, then what it help for that particular designer, it helps for designer to identify which is the best design. याच्यामधलं बेस्ट डिझाईन कुठला. ओके, त्याच्यासाठी फॉर दॅट मच अंडरस्टँडिंग आय एम गिव्हिंग यू द रिअल टाइम एक्झाम्पल ऑफ मोबाईल सो दॅट यू कॅन अंडरस्टँड व्हॉट इज दॅट एक्झॅक्टली. बरोबर आहे का? डिझायनर म्हणजे कोण आहे? जी कंपनी मॅन्युफॅक्चर करणार आहे ते डिझायनर आहे. ओके, and who is that user? User is nothing but we are the user, those who are purchasing that mobile. मग आपल्याला त्याच्यामुळे काय होणार आहे, एक चांगला मोबाईल घेता येणार आहे त्या स्पेसिफिकेशन्स मुळे, बरोबर आहे का? ही एवढे एवढे स्पेसिफिकेशन आहेत त्याच्यामुळे मला चांगला मोबाईल घेता येणार आहे. पण डिझायनरला काय होणार आहे, मी हे चांगले स्पेसिफिकेशन दिल्यामुळे आमचं हा मॉडेल जास्त सोल्ड होतं. ओके, म्हणजे इट विल हेल्प अस फॉर युजर as well as it will help us for designer. Okay, so that's why these specifications are the necessary, which are nothing but the Indian, which is given by the Indian standard of institution. For the what? For the transformer as well as the rotating electrical machines. So which are the rotating electrical machines? DC motor, induction motor and the synchronous machines. ओके, म्हणजे त्यात आपल्याला डिटेल काय जायचं नाही, आपल्याला काय बघायचं आहे फक्त कुठल्या इंडियन स्टँडर्ड प्रमाणे आणि कुठले कुठले स्पेसिफिकेशन्स आहेत. म्हणजे तुम्हाला आता बघा, whenever into the examination how they will ask you the question for as per the Indian standard this for the transformer which of the following specifications we are using. मग त्यात त्यांनी ऑप्शन दिलेला असणार, त्यातलं कुठलं तर एक जर करेक्ट असेल तर तुम्हाला ते तुम्ही काय करायचं, सिलेक्ट करायचं. किंवा व्हॉट एव्हर दी थ्री गिव्हन्स, ऑल थ्री आर करेक्ट, यू हॅव टू चूज ऑल ऑफ दिस. दिस विल केस हॅपन्स फॉर दी डीसी मोटर ऑल्सो, इंडक्शन मोटर as well as the synchronous machines. आणि ज्या वेळेस इफ इनटू दी एक्झामिनेशन लाईक ISC if they will going to ask the question that write a short note on the specifications used. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to write its a basic introduction, why the specifications are useful, and after that, what you have to do, after that, you have to write the specification of each and every electrical machines. That is nothing but the transformer, induction motor, synchronous machines, and the DC machines. Okay, I will just show you how they have given. Tomorrow we will learn that, but just I will show you. See, so as far as transformer, there are two Indian standard we are using, that is given here, and these following are the specifications of that particular transformer. एवढे स्पेसिफिकेशन आपल्याला डिझाइन करताना लागणार आहेत. म्हणजे एवढे जेवढे सगळ्या काय व्हॅल्यू दिलेल्या आहेत त्या आपल्याला डिझाइन करताना लागणार आहेत. तर आणि तरच आपण एक्झाम्पल काय करू शकू. इट इज पॉसिबल फॉर अस टू सॉल्व दॅट एक्झाम्पल. ओके, दिस हॅपन्स इन केस ऑफ ट्रान्सफॉर्मर. सी, as far as the induction motor is concerned, it is also given here, then it is also given. Okay, so for these different what can I say, different machines, different Indian standards are there, and different specifications are given as per the requirement of that particular electrical machine. म्हणजे तुम्ही एक्झाम मध्ये शॉर्ट नोट मध्ये काय लिहिणार, फक्त पहिली बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन आणि हे जे काय स्पेसिफिकेशन दिलेले आहेत, these specification. Again, what in MCQ, what they will going to ask? See, whatever this also given Indian standard, they will also ask this for this MCQ. As per which Indian standard we are using this. Okay, now what is your homework now? See, you have to go to the home and you have to tell me what is the meaning of this 2026 and what is the meaning of this 9062. Okay, now what is your homework? Whenever we are going to tomorrow start the lecture, that time what I am expecting, what is the meaning of this 1180 and what is the meaning of this 9064. समजलं का सगळ्यांना? काय एक्सपेक्टेड आहे तुम्हाला? हे 2026 म्हणजे काय आहे आणि 1962 म्हणजे काय आहे. ओके, किंवा हे 1180 म्हणजे काय आहे आणि 1964 काय आहे. You have to search it on Google and tomorrow you have to tell me what is the exactly meaning of that. Got it everyone? Those who are attending online, whether they have got it, what they have to search tomorrow. जे ऑनलाइन अटेंड करतायत त्यांना कळलंय का आपल्याला काय सर्च करायचं आहे. What you have to search?
Yes sir.
Swapnali, can you tell us what we have to search? Swapnali, what we have to search?
ते 2026 आणि 1965 ते काय सर्च करू.
Yes, absolutely correct. What is the meaning of exactly that we need to understand. Okay, आता हे फक्त इथंच नाहीये, आपण whenever we are going to study another part also, like what can I say, remaining things, that is induction motor, there itself also they have given. Okay, so what you have to search for each and everything. Each and everything म्हणजे काय, एक कुठलं तर सर्च करा, ते सगळ्याला ऍप्लिकेबल. ओके, एकच कुठलं तर सर्च करा, किंवा तुम्ही ISI स्टँडर्ड पण डाउनलोड केली तर PDF तुम्हाला डाउनलोड होईल. त्यात भरपूर what I can say, different standards were there, but we are interested only this, that is 2026 and what is that 9060. Got it everyone? Kamle, what we have to do? Okay, so just wait, I will take attendance. What's your roll number? You give me your roll number. I will just write here. Just a minute. What's that? Tell me. 30. Next. 60. 70. See, 38, 49, 63, 70, 40. Is it correct? Okay, so remaining part we will continue into the next lecture.